Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me one more time. Again, today I'm gonna do a I'm gonna play you a song that I hold very dear to my heart, and I think this artist, we're talking about Meola, is not getting the recognition on the channel he deserves. So I'm just gonna, put out some content with him. This is a beautiful song from the Casino album, 1978, Egyptian Danza. That's basically the song that did it for me, where I'm like, okay, I'm now officially an Meola fan. So I'm super excited to play this to you. This is, yeah, like I said, the categories have you heard. I've of course heard this, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of times before, but I just some trivia here about this album. So it's the third album, the third solo album by jazz fusion guitarist Meola, 1978. And on this track, we're gonna have Meola on the guitar, percussion hand claps. We have Barry Miles on keyboards and percussion. We have Anthony Jackson on bass, and Steve Gadd, of course, he's such a famous drummer. We've heard him on Steely Dan. We've heard him with just about anybody that you can imagine. Eddie Cullen on percussion and Mingo Lewis. I actually remember uploading this on my very, very old channel that I had, and I think Eddie Cullen reached out to me and he was like, hey, can you please put me in the credits, please, like, this is stuff that I recorded with Meola. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, it's just such a beautiful song. Dark Eye Tango is beautiful. Senor Mouse by Chick Corea is beautiful. About everything on this album is just marvelous. So I wanted you to experiment this with me. So I hope you do enjoy. Give me just 1 second. I'll be right with you. All right, and I'm back. I'm all good to go. Egyptian Danza it is. Here we go. Meola, and enjoy. Here we go, and boom. Scale here. So I didn't know that Al was clapping, and I certainly didn't know that Steve Gadd was on the drums all this time. But it's so cool, you know, to know the musicians, to have heard him in other, you know, music. And but it's so, what I love about this piece, and what I've always loved about Aldi Meola is he has certain elegance, like it's very elegant, the music, just like his album Elegant Gypsy. It just sounds very sorry, it just sounds very precise, and it's, I don't know, it has a certain, like, he doesn't go all out as in the jazz. He plays jazz fusion, but very, it's a sort more of a linear jazz, you know, like he still uses scales that are not too outside, and that gives it a certain less chaotic, I think, sound. It sounds just very, it sounds almost very classical. It sounds very you know, it has its certain like Latin infused, you know, flavor, you know, and I think that sounds just very, it's very digestible. I mean, if you, and this is what I started with, I remember this is like my first jazz fusion experience, like Aldi Meola, and then I got into, you know, Gianluca Ponti, and of course, because he was collaborating with Stanley Clarke, I got into Stanley Clarke, and it just like kind of like, and John McLaughlin, because he did the guitar trio, Paco de Lucia, and so I kind of like found my way. And I was obsessed with Aldi Meola for years, and I was really trying to imitate that staccato sound that he has, where you pick every note, and I got really good at it. But then I kind of like stopped doing that because I got into players that play more legato, and now I can quite do both pretty well, but it's kind of like one or the other, you know. One is very, you pick every note, and the others that you pick one note and you basically, you hammer on, it's called a hammer on from nowhere. You hammer on the notes kind of like with your left fretting hand instead of giving it that push. So it has a very different sounds to play legato and staccato. But yeah, very, very, this is a staccato galore player, and he's also very good at the palm muting, which is very much his sound that he does almost every time. He mutes those strings with his palm and gives it that clack 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 sound. So but yeah, just like the way he improvises here, it's beautiful, very classical as well, like the note choice, and it's just wonderful. So yeah, let's continue. It sounds like, because he's literally like palm muting that note, giving it that very almost percussive sound. Beautifully done. I was so obsessed with this guy. I love him to death. I've seen him twice already live, twice with Alexia actually, and we saw him in Florida at his 40th anniversary, playing Elegant Gypsy, the entire album. And it was so amazing because he usually never plays the electric guitar, because he does have a hearing, basically it's like it's an accident where you have this constant beep you know, I think, I don't know what it's called, but he talked about it in the concert. So he has to kind of like put in earplugs, and then he can't hear it, so he has to kind of like play it by ear. I mean, he does hear himself, but it's a whole thing. So he enjoys, it just hurts his ears to play electric guitar. So the last time we saw him, he was just playing acoustic, and that's what he does a lot more. And he was playing with a beautiful percussionist from India and a drummer as well. So it was more like a trio experience, a more like percussive chords, and he would solo but over the drums. It was very interesting. But I mean, the one that we saw with the entire band, the bass and violins and drums, and it was just fantastic, keyboards and yeah. But I mean, just listen to this. I mean, just listen to this style again. I'm gonna rewind so you can hear the staccato style. Wonderful. And as we all know, Aldi Meola was, of course, part of the Super Fusion project Return to Forever with Chick Corea. What I don't understand is that he never gets mentioned in like the top 10 guitarists. It's always the same 5, and it's just like, I'm just really like sick and tired of those lists. It's just like, it's almost like it's done by people that don't know about music, you know. It's just like, oh, who's the famous guy? Oh, Jimi Hendrix. Oh, okay, let's put him first, let's put him up top. And then who's the other guy again in that band? Oh, Jimmy Page. It's like, really, you know, I mean, it's not, I'm not like saying anything against Hendrix or Page, but like, really, like, I don't think they had the technique and precision of this man, you know. So it's just like, you know, it's a debate, I guess, but I think this is one of the cleanest players at the time. I think him, McLaughlin, Alan Holdsworth, and there's some other amazing players, Stanley Jordan and guys like that, and they just get totally ignored. The good thing is Aldi Meola does have a huge fan base, and he got the recognition he deserved, winning amazing amounts of I guess I don't know, like I wouldn't really know what kind of uh you know, I don't know if you call them prizes or recognitions, but I'm sure he did, because I did see an article where he was once nominated as the guitarist with the most accolades or something like that, which is well deserved. I mean, the man has just literally done so much for music, and it's all instrumental. It's just wonderful. So I'm so happy to make this video and give him a little bit of you know, we're now at almost 65,000 subs, and I think it's time, you know, to give Aldi Meola some, you know, time in the spotlight. And to people that don't know him, you know, this is just a little bit of his talent. I mean, the guy just plays about anything that you put in front of him. This was not very jazzy per se. It was more like prog rock fusion, and a beautiful like Arab infused style here. You know, the very Egyptian. The scaling was just amazing. The whole feel you feel in the desert, you feel that, you know, environment he wants, that it is a dance, you know. So it's a wonderful piece of music. And check out this album, Casino. I mean, it's all almost 50 years old. Crazy. But I mean, every track on this is just wonderful. I'm gonna try and do more Aldi Meola on the channel, with Alexia included. I just want to give this man, you know, just more airtime. I don't see other channels reacting to him at all. So I do want to change that a little bit. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for you know, let me know in the comment section what you think. If you like this, if you enjoy this playing, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video.